almost as exciting as when ChatGPT rolled out the same feature. Let's see. Wasn't that a year or so ago? Over 650,000 folks start their day with my free newsletter. You should too. Sign up at getkim.com. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. At the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Do it today. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talkback here on this Friday morning. I'm Al Quartermont, along with Stephen Maxwell. Glad you guys could be with us.
Good morning.
Are you seeing me on the live feed?
No, if you're watching on social media, it's just me, but Al is here.
It says I'm backstage.
You want me to send you another invite?
Let me try loading it again.
Okay.
So,
man, jam-packed show today.
yes, we do.
We have, we were talking about this, the Gulf shrimp issue, and I don't want to say issue, but there was a recent study by a consulting group that was looking at shrimp here at restaurants, testing to see if it's actually Gulf shrimp, and the findings might surprise you a little bit.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting interview. And then coming up at 8:05, we'll dive into the carbon capture topic once again.
I don't know if our listeners have heard about that.
Well, but you say that because it feels like we've talked about it a lot, but I'm surprised at how many people are still, hey, I kind of heard something about it. What exactly is going on? And so, I don't know that we can talk about this too much, to be honest.
100%. And it's just one of those things, too, like you see it in the news, you see the headlines, but it kind of takes a little bit of work to to get to really understand it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, I don't know.
Are you seeing me yet?
No, I don't know what's going on.
All right, you might have to resend the...
I'll resend the link here.
Yeah. Hey, this is the last, summer hits today, but the first full day of summer is tomorrow. And they're talking about already record heat across the United States. It's like, whoa, we have heat in summer. Imagine that.
Wow.
Also, tomorrow is the longest day of the year.
Is it really?
Yeah, so we start going in the opposite direction after tomorrow.
I like summer. I don't mind the extremely hot weather.
No. I don't love it, to be honest, but it's better than snowstorms, that's for sure.
1,000%. I figured you love all the snow and the ice. You love it.
No, I already had a lifetime of it, so I'm good to not have to have that anymore.
You want to know what our favorite animal is in Central Louisiana? Out during the winter in Louisiana, he wears shorts and short sleeves just to show us.
Not so much. I get cold. The older I'm getting.
That's true.
All right, it says I'm backstage, but you're not seeing me still? What is going on?
It could be a user error, but I'm doing it the way I've always done it.
I'm doing it the way I always do it. I don't know.
Maybe I'll get Nathan to call in the break. He's the one who knows all this stuff.
I'm just clicking on the link and entering in. So, what is going on?
I'm afraid to touch anything, so maybe during the break I'll look at it.
Technology.
If you're on Facebook, Al is here.
I promise
you.
Promise that I am. Hello.
There he is.
Hello, everyone.
We're good.
So, you got the live feed going, but just I'm not in it.
You're not in it.
Maybe this is on purpose.
No, definitely not. I'll definitely put the camera on you if you want to.
Yesterday, you put together a story that you had actually shot the day before down in Marksville. The name of the restaurant again?
La Petite Affaire. Took a lot of practice. They said it much better.
Does that means like the little affair or what?
No, it's like a...
Tell your wife, you're at home, I went to a little affair.
Yeah, don't talk about that on here. Lord. She'll be calling in too. Like, what are you talking about affairs for?
I think she likes you a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Even though I'm hard to put up with.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting there editing video all day. And it's not like a work thing. It's just me. That's like my fun hobby.
Yeah.
And it happens to be my job. So I'm sitting there just editing and like, oh, this is fun. This is fun. Oh, wait, I have a family.
Are you teaching Sophie how to edit yet?
How to edit? No, she's busy watching Miss Rachel and dancing in her room.
Really?
Oh, she loves to dance.
She's a dancer.
She loves it. But her mom's a really good dancer too. Fantastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. She is very, very good.
Huh.
I told her she should teach dance classes, but I don't know if she would. Nice little side gig.
Is that something she learned growing up in Venezuela?
That's what I guess. I mean, I think all of them are naturally inclined to rhythm. I mean, it's amazing. Her whole family, I'm looking out there like a sore thumb.
You're like the whitest dude ever.
I'm the whitest guy ever, and they're out there just magnificently dancing.
Marrying into this Venezuelan family.
And they have like this big house that they go out to. We have parties every weekend. So there's this big house, and they like turn the living room sometimes into a club. I'm telling you, there's strobe lights, disco balls. There's a huge living room. And
Sophia probably loves that.
Amazing food, yeah. I mean, she was young the last time they had a big one like that, but she'll probably get a kick out of it this time.
Yeah, I've been to their house a couple times for parties that you've had.
You know, don't you?
The food. It's just, it's off the chain, as the kids say.
My mother-in-law cooked me all sorts of good stuff for Father's Day. It was fantastic. All the other brother-in-laws were out, and so it was just me getting all the good stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. You also did a story yesterday on carbon capture, interviewed Chuck Owen.
Chuck Owen from Vernon Parish joined me on Zoom. We just talked about some of the issues he has with it. And this is one of those things, I try to keep my online videos below 3 minutes for a number of reasons. But it's just one of those topics. It's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's really tough.
Oh, it definitely is. And as I said just a moment ago, it is something that a lot of people are talking about. So we want to make sure we keep the conversation going and giving you more information. Excuse me. I'm verklempt. And that's why coming up at 8:05, Roland Hollins will be here. He's a police juror from Allen Parish. Actually heard him talk last week at Philadelphia Baptist Church. Now, he's a guy that was a police juror, had retired from it, but then he said when this issue started popping up, he was looking into it, and it made him decide to run again because he wants to be a voice in this whole process.
He's from the same town as me, so when everyone's like, hey, you need to reach out to Roland Hollins, I'm like, oh, I know Roland Hollins. I mean, Fairview has like 12 people in it. And so I called him up. I was like, hey, you want to come on the radio?
That is the epitome of a rural community.
Dude, this is such a small area, which is what I love about it.
Yeah.
You kind of know everybody, right?
That's it. You guys are most famous for the Christmas tree farm.
Okay, yes. Christmas Tree Farm, which is fantastic. The Grant Christmas Tree Farm. And then here's the thing. I say Grant Christmas Tree. People think it's Grant Parish. The town is Grant in Allen Parish.
Right.
Different.
Right.
And then the girls basketball team. They won like 65,000 state championships with Kyle Jinks as the coach. So
it's amazing.
I used to tell people, like, how are they so good and stuff? I was like, well, during the summer, he'd have these 7th, 8th graders that he knew were going to be playing on his team, running outside in July with weight vests around the baseball.
Oh my God.
They're just in better shape than everybody else.
That is amazing.
Yeah, they full court press the whole game.
Their boys teams have been pretty good too.
They've been on the cusp a few times of winning it, but they're really good. Yeah. I mean, basketball's life in small Louisiana towns that don't have football.
Baseball?
Not so much. I mean, they like it. We all love softball and baseball, but it comes second for sure.
That's one thing that's surprising about Steven you might not know. He's got a really good arm.
I used to play baseball.
You can sling it. You can sling it.
Yeah, it was fun. That's the only thing I miss about high school. And some of my friends.
Were you a good hitter?
I didn't like offense as much. I love defense, but when I started, I think my last year I had like a 360.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe I upped that a little bit, like I caught a fish, but it was definitely above 330.
Did you ever get hit by a pitch?
Oh, yeah. A couple times.
That's fun, huh?
I played first base, too, so I got hit
yeah.
by the runners on accident a couple times.
Yeah.
One guy hit me. We were playing against Oberlin. He was like a defensive lineman, really good for them, and he played the baseball team just to do it. Drilled me. And I still have, like, inflamed chest from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
From, like, 2010. It hurt.
Oh, wow.
Got me good. Good times.
There you go. Speaking of good times, 50 years ago today, the movie Jaws was released, regarded as the first summer blockbuster and a real landmark in Hollywood.
Probably, and I know you say this about every movie. That's a top 10 movie. I love that movie.
It was a good one.
I could watch it all the time.
So 50 years ago, I would have been 9 years old, and I still remember my friend's mom taking me and him to see it.
Really? That's awesome.
9 years old.
All right, so we went and saw in theaters in Florida 3 or 4 years ago. It was really fun.
Back then we only had G, PG, R, and X for movie ratings. So I'm pretty sure it was PG, but I feel like today it would be, PG-13?
Yeah, I think it'd be R back then. It would have to be. Maybe because there was no blood or anything. There
was blood, wasn't there?
I don't know.
And people got eaten.
Yeah, need a bigger boat.
And the woman swimming at first, kind of,
Oh, that's true. It had to be R, man.
But us Gen X kids, 9 years old, it was like we already knew the world at that point.
Yeah, and the movies were, when you watch movies from back in the day, they were just, it was like it had this mystique about them. They were just so much more fun, so much more dramatic. The vibe for it, I loved it.
Oh, I always remember the music though.
I even like the corny sequels. They're not near as good, but they're still
How about
fun.
Jaws 3D?
I watched that one too.
Really? Yeah.
Was that the one where he got stuck on the circuit or something?
I don't know.
Or got electrocuted?
That probably. Like he bites into like the fiber optic line or whatever. The telephone line.
I love Jaws. That's a great show.
The next thing you see is just like a burned out skeleton. Maybe that was Jaws 2.
I think it was Jaws.
I think it was Jaws.
It got a little more out of hand on the third one.
Because I don't think I've ever seen Jaws 3D. But I remember the burning after he bites the thing.
That had to be 2 then.
Yeah.
What was Jaws 3D? I have to watch it this weekend.
Are they doing Shark Week on, what is it, the Sci-Fi Channel?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Sharknado? All that stuff.
I like a good shark flick.
Well, Jaws was the epitome. That's
it was probably better than Stripes.
No.
I think Jaws is definitely better than Stripes.
Bite your tongue. All right. You probably like fake shrimp too.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to wait for our scientist to come on.
That's right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with David Williams. He's the founder of a group called SEAD Seed Consulting and a commercial fishery scientist. We're going to talk about this study that was done on restaurants in Alexandria and Pineville. Is your shrimp real, or is it at least authentic Gulf shrimp? We'll tell you the results when we come back right here on Talkback.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Futures mixed as President Trump weighs U.S. strikes on Iran. Shell is also warning there could be a huge impact if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, saying it's already encountering shipping problems in the region, including GPS jamming. Citigroup says crude oil could spike to $90 a barrel if the strait is shut down. The annual ranking by the Points Guy says Delta Airlines is still the best airline in America. He uses a formula to evaluate every aspect of a traveler's experience, from booking to baggage delivery. And Delta's held the top spot for 7 years in a row. United Airlines, a close second this year. And shares of Pop Mart are down about 3% in Hong Kong, despite the booming popularity of their Labubu dolls. A lot of them end up on resale sites, but Chinese state media is now warning that these products could lead to addictive buying behaviors among minors. Kids and adults are buying them up in bulk for about $100 a pop. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
This summer, the Rapides Parish Library is getting all jazzed up. It's RPL's summer reading program for all ages with weekly entertainment, creative crafts, and toe-tapping fun. Don't let that summer slump slow you down, especially for the kids out of school. Keep your mind sharp and imaginations grooving by reading what you love, logging your minutes, and winning awesome prizes. Books, fun, and freebies. Now that's music to our ears. Register today at your local branch and get all jazzed up all summer long with RPL.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
And welcome back, everyone. Talk Back here on Friday morning. Al Quartermont, Stephen Maxwell with you. All right, I know a lot of you love getting out and eating in the Alexandria area. We were talking yesterday about some of the great restaurants that we have here locally. And certainly among the favorite fare when you talk about food is seafood. And when you talk about seafood, you got to talk about shrimp, specifically Gulf shrimp. So you go to your local favorite restaurant, you order the Gulf shrimp, but how do you know if it's real? Well, there's actually a way of determining this, science-based. Seed Consulting uses something called Wright's test, a genetic technology, and recently they tested 24 restaurants in the Alexandria Pineville area, and it showed that 11 out of 24, 46% only, were serving authentic Gulf shrimp. What about the rest? What about this test? It's an interesting one, that's for sure. Joining us on the phone is Dave Williams. He is the founder of Seed Consulting, a commercial fishery scientist. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling in today. We appreciate that. So this study has gotten some attention because people expect integrity when it comes to the food that they order. Tell me about your company and how you're involved in testing seafood, specifically shrimp, around the states.
Well, we have been testing all the shrimp producing states from basically Texas to North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And I would like to say that the Louisiana market is the most authentic market in all the states. So basically, your authenticity in Louisiana is something to be proud of because you basically are more authentic than anybody else. The worst place is surprisingly Florida, where 42 out of 44 restaurants were being inauthentic.
Wow.
But, unfortunately with Alexandria, because you're a little bit away from the coast, I believe, the authenticity rate isn't as high as it could be compared to other places in Louisiana where basically you have a 50-50 chance of eating Gulf shrimp. Now, the information can be broken down a little bit more specifically, and that is that of those restaurants, a lot of those restaurants actually say that they're serving imported shrimp when they have displayed signs on the somewhere in the restaurant or on the menu. But very few of them are actually following the guidelines. The guidelines basically say that you should put on the line of the menu the fact that the shrimp are imported. Only one restaurant in Alexandria was doing that. The other one said things like, we strive to serve Gulf shrimp, but there's sometimes you can't get them, so we'll serve imported. Something similar to that, which is sort of a little bit of a sign that they only serve imported shrimp, because you don't put that unless you're serving imported shrimp. Of all the restaurants, 25% of the restaurants were actually explicitly lying about shrimp. So when either on the menu or when asked, they said they were serving local shrimp and they weren't. Somewhat of an annoying thing. But you have some restaurants also that are doing the right thing. I'm very proud of it. We have a list of restaurants that you can look at seaconsulting.com that actually serve the authentic shrimp. And some of the places are very, very proud of the fact they only serve Gulf shrimp and only serve Gulf crawfish. Really good version of that, which has a surprising name, is Bucket's Crawfish and Seafood in Pineville, which is an amazing name to me because I'm English. Not quite sure people would really appreciate eating food out of a bucket. But
we love our buckets.
But there's a list of 11 restaurants that actually serve the domestic shrimp. What we do is we basically go in like any other form of consumer or diner, order a plate of food and take it out and basically use a rapid genetic test to identify the product. And we did that. And like I say, your authenticity rate is approximately 50-50 serving imported shrimp, which is not too bad. If you want to go to a place that's really authentic, you go to New Orleans, where 87% of the restaurants are serving domestic shrimp, which I'm quite proud of. Basically, along I-10, there's plenty of places that are pretty authentic. The average in Louisiana is about 30%. So you guys are sort of a little bit above average, but I'm sure with a little bit more enforcement, when restaurants get more used to serving, more used to getting the labeling correct, it will be more authentic.
So when you do your tests, and again, we're talking with Dave Williams, the founder of Seed Consulting Group that tests restaurants to see if their shrimp is authentic Gulf shrimp. Does it tell you where the shrimp comes from if it's not from the Gulf? And if so, where is it usually coming from?
What we look for is we look for the shrimp that gets farm raised all over the world, which is Metapenaeus fannamai. And one thing you do know is if that shrimp is found, you know that it doesn't come from the Gulf or the East Coast of the United States. So what we're specifically looking for is the species with our test. Most of the shrimp that are grown, that are sold, tend to come from either Vietnam, India, or Ecuador. And they're grown in earthen ponds. And, they're harvested, et cetera, But, it's something that I don't think people from Louisiana particularly appreciate, because I've never seen a picture of a muddy pond in India or Ecuador on the wall of a restaurant. You tend to see boats and things like that. And that's one of the things that the labeling laws in Louisiana actually saying that is that if you use imagery of the Gulf or imagery of Louisiana to promote a product, you should be selling local products. So, there's plenty of restaurants in Alexandria that have lots of Cajun themes. Pictures of alligators, pictures of boats, pictures of everything else to promote the fact that people want to eat there. And it's quite disappointing when you have something that says, proud to serve Louisiana food, and you're serving a product in another country.
I know you said you have a list of restaurants that did well on the test. I know everyone out there is going to be asking, what about the ones that didn't pass the test? What's the process of that, and why do you guys not release that information?
Well, first of all, we don't test every single restaurant in the area. And that is something, obviously, it's if you don't test every single restaurant, if you actually give the names of the restaurants that are not doing the right thing, it sort of gives the all clear to other restaurants that might be serving imported shrimp, and we didn't get into a testing process. The second thing is we do actually release the results, but we release the results to the Louisiana Shrimp Task Force, and I believe they pass those results off to the health department for enforcement. But we're not in the business of hurting restaurants. What we're in the business of doing is bringing people's attention to the places that are doing the right thing and also giving people the realization that a lot of the product that they serve is not what they expect to eat.
No.
And we always recommend if you go into a restaurant, you need to ask where shrimp is from and ask again and ask again and ask again. Because one of the things we find is that the first time you ask, somebody will say, "Oh, let me go ask the kitchen." And usually they'll come back in like 5 or 10 minutes. Normally after you've actually ordered your product and say, "Yeah, the shrimp are in. We're not sure where they're from, or the chef is not here right now." So this really does affect everybody. It affects the consumers, the people who are there, because they should be allowed to have a choice to know what they're eating. It also does affect the restaurants that are doing the right thing, because they're paying more money to do the right thing. And lastly, it's destroying the culture of Louisiana and the coast, because if you can't afford to go out fishing, then obviously you go out of business. And Louisiana is very proud of its culture and its heritage, and we don't want that to go away, which is why we do this.
I'm just kind of curious too. So this whole testing process, you visited 24 restaurants. Is it just you and somebody else? Is it a couple people going to each restaurant? How long does it take to do this?
Let's just say shrimp is not our favorite food anymore, really. So what we do is we either, depending on the market, we go to the restaurant and we basically order a plate of food. Once we've got that plate of food, we take a couple of shrimp out of the food, and then we take it and we put it into a little baggie, and we randomize the number on the bag so that the people who are testing don't know what restaurant it comes from. And then we get it tested for the Metaphanes family, which is a farm-raised shrimp.
So you're not cooking shrimp at home when you get back to the house?
I think we've done approximately 500 restaurants on the Gulf Coast.
Dang.
Wow.
And I think that if you, I believe that if you'd eaten 500 orders of macaroni and cheese, that wouldn't be your favorite food anymore.
That's true.
I feel you. I understand.
Well, Mr. Williams, we appreciate you coming on the show and explaining more of the test and the results. Again, it's Seed Consulting, SEAD Consulting.com. Is that what you said? SeedConsulting.com?
Yeah, SeedConsulting.com. You can look us up and see what other states have done and what you've done. And like I say, we're very proud of the culture and the authenticity in Louisiana. It's just you guys in Alexandria need to push the restaurants into being more authentic.
For sure.
Because we need to save the fishing communities around the Gulf.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for the work you're doing, and thank you for the time you've given us here this morning.
I truly appreciate it, and have fun. Everybody go out and eat shrimp, but ask where it's from, please.
All right, will do. Thank you so much. And by the way, folks, you can find the list of those that were found to be serving authentic shrimp on our Facebook page under the story that Stephen did yesterday. More talk back coming up.
KSYL. You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to today's Dental in Pineville. Virtual Align Clear Aligners. The fastest, most convenient